My name is Michael Schenkel, and I'm the chair of ANC 2C. And I'd like to welcome you to our March 10th, 2026 meeting of ANC 2C. We have our 4 of 4 commissioners present, and I would like for them to do an introductions of themselves. And we'll start on my far right with Commissioner Brown.
First time I've been referred to as the far right.
Right, far right, I know.
I'm Nancy Groth. Forgive my voice, which is funky this evening. I'm commissioner for 2C02, south of Mass Ave, including Black Lives Matter Plaza.
My name's Thomas Lee.
You're not on.
Name's Thomas Lee. I'm the commissioner for 2C03, which is Penn Quarter in the National Mall.
And my name is Jim Swart.
You're not on.
There we go.
Excuse me. And my name is Jim Swart. I'm the commissioner for 2C04, which includes a portion of Chinatown, city center, and portions of downtown.
And my name is Michael Schenkel again, and I'm the commissioner for 2C01 representing Chinatown and Penn Quarter. We have 4 of 4 commissioners present, therefore we have a quorum this evening. Thank you, commissioners, and thank you for those of you who are online with us and those of you who are joining us in person this evening. I'd like to start off by reviewing our agenda. Give me 1 second and I will get that agenda on our screen. For those of you who are not in person with us, I do have agendas the agenda is available at anc2c.us. Please feel free to go there and you can download the latest agenda for tonight's meeting. So we're going to start off with our general business of the ANC and administrative matters that we should address. We will move forward in our community announcements section, in which we will review our different MPD locations, mayor's office, council member's office, and the downtown DC bid. We do not have any events that impact the community tonight. We do have 3 APCA licenses, which are available to be reviewed. We do have an ask for a community grant initiative, and we have several DDOT. We have actually 5 DDOT questions that are coming up for us to review. And then we'll end tonight's meeting talking about a planning, zoning, environment, and historic preservation at 503 517 8th Street Northwest. Commissioners, do you have any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Commissioner Groth has moved to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
I second that.
It is seconded. All those in favor? So 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that. Our agenda will move forward with the agenda as published. Commissioners, have you had the opportunity to review the February 10th minutes?
We did not get the February 10th minutes from the minute service until last night. So I move that I haven't seen them myself, that we table them until the next meeting and approve them then.
Okay. Then we will, there's a motion on the table from Commissioner Groth to table the meeting approval. Is there a second?
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart, and all those in favor. So we'll table that 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that. We will table that until our next meeting. The treasurer's report.
Yes, we have here the quarter one fiscal 2026 quarterly financial report, which I
Do you
will
want to
be-
share your screen?
You know what?
If you can, that's okay.
I guess I can, but maybe we can come back.
Okay, go ahead. I mean, just go ahead and review it.
Sorry, you want me to do it verbally?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We received in quarter one, which is September, October, November, December of 2025. We received an allotment from the city of $6,553.46. And we spent $1,875 largely for our minute taking services, and $180 and then plus $180 went to Ms. Groth here for her software expense. For quarter two, which is ending January, February, this month so far, we have no expenses. I did write 2 checks to a minute services vendor, but they've not cashed them yet. I've got one other check for them for February, which I will be getting your signature on, Michael, later this evening. And I also have a reimbursement check for you for our post office expense, which has been signed in the amount of $258.
Thank you.
Yep. And then should we discuss the Chinatown?
Should, is this a revised quarterly report?
Yes.
This is a revised Q1
Revised Q1.
Slightly
for this.
Because we had, just to let people know, there was an error that was detected in our quarter 3 of last year, I believe, and it has pulled forward in all of our quarters so far. So this is the last correction I think we have to make. I move that we approve the quarterly report as presented by Commissioner Lee.
Second,
Seconded by Commissioner Groth, and then all those in favor? So 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that. Thank you. So the next quarterly report will be presented at our next meeting on April 14th.
Correct.
Got it.
That would be
Yeah.
quarter 2 of 2020, fiscal year 2026.
can we please expeditiously get this quarter one revised thing signed
Yes, I'll
and
load it
submitted?
up right now and send it off to you.
Great, thank you.
Got it.
I think it goes to me first,
Yep.
so I'll move it right along.
Got it. Other administrative matters. I am ready to publish the announcements for the position that we have available for the ANC to help with our administrative processes, our executive assistant. So that is going to be published. I'll do that tomorrow, and we can review those applications as they come in. There are 2 individuals that have expressed interest in that in particularly. So we will also include those in our collection of processes. If other individuals in our community are interested, we are hiring an administrative assistant for the ANC, and for a limited number of hours per month. And this individual would help us with a variety of tasks that are behind the scenes kind of tasks with the ANC. If you're interested in that, please email one of the commissioners so that we can get your resume.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I do have a question. Is that somehow posted on our website? the fact that we have that position available.
It is not posted yet. But it certainly can be.
Yeah, I was just wondering how people are to find out about it.
Yes. That's where it will be posted. We'll post it there too.
Thank you.
Any other administrative matters? Okay,
We discuss Chinatown, the request, or is that?
uh,
Well, I guess we,
Let's do that under grants.
let's do that under grants, yes. We'll move forward with community announcements. Is anybody representing MPD 2 this evening?
Yes.
Hello, Commissioner. Hello, sorry, Lieutenant Carvin. How are you? I just commissioned you.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing very well.
1 second. I'll stop the property crimes. Property crimes are down 29%, but we did have 3 Part 1 offenses.
We might have to have you get a little closer to your mic.
Okay. Let me try one more thing. Give me 1 second.
there it is.
I think we may have lost Lieutenant Garvin.
Can you?
Oh, there you go. There you are. I can hear you now.
All right, there we go. Okay, so property crimes are down by 29%. But we did have 3 robberies. I'm sorry, we had 3 Part 1 offenses. The first robbery was an individual was in the 900 block of H's and Henry Street. A group of juveniles were walking behind him, and they stopped him, they took his headphones, and they took his Lime bike. That case, the individual was unharmed, who was not injured. That case is being investigated by our Second District Detective's Office. We had an ADW weapon, which was a knife. That's out of the Nordstrom rack. An individual was concealing items. As he was leaving the store, he was stopped by the SPOs. Told him, we see what you're doing. Put the merchandise back. He produced a knife. Words were exchanged, but he said, "I'll stab you." He made a lunge at the SPO, but did not make contact, and he fled into Metro Center's metro station, where he made good of his escape. And the last incident was a robbery, force, and violence, but we also made an arrest with that. MPD was flagged down for a fight in progress, where the individual had stole items out of an individual's vehicle. That person was placed on arrest for robbery, force, and violence, as well as unlawful entry of a motor vehicle. Today, we also had the encampment cleanup at 1300 block of New York Avenue. We do our best to ensure that we've been doing, how can I put this? Observation posts. We've been having in that particular area because we know that is a known drug area. We haven't had any overdoses as of late, thank goodness. We're trying to focus on the dealers that are over there, who are preying on the vulnerable community, as I say, people who are battling drug addiction as well as mental health. So that sometimes seems to be like a prime area or prime real estate for those who want to sell drugs, because there's a market there for it, unfortunately. We know there's several things coming up in the district. I don't know if it's called NASCAR, but we got the motor car thing on the way. I'm curious to see what that looks like. It's going to be a busy summer. The UFC fight is called Freedom 250, which will be at the White House. Expecting a lot of people to come from all over the world to see these fights. I believe we have Pride as well. So we're wrapping up to be a very busy next couple of months. So again, there have been protests. Our civil disturbance units have been dispatched, so that does affect our manpower from time to time because, again, we have to make sure that when these protests pops up at these embassies near the White House, we have to support Secret Service and other agencies as they support us as well during this time. And that's all I have. I'll take questions, if any.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Have you, uh, uh, besides I guess, the details that were announced this week, have you heard any more about the Formula One race and planning for that?
No, not as of yet. But when we do, I'll definitely let you guys know because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some sort of not only traffic closures, but there'll be some streets that may be hardened off months before it starts. So I'm sure it will definitely affect traffic at some points as they start to close down streets and things of that nature in preparation for it.
Yes, I didn't even think about it being months of setup, but this would be significant setup that would have to happen for
Yes.
this, wouldn't it? Yes. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. To be seen what happens here. But thank you for the information about the various the crime report in the area. We appreciate that as well. Commissioners, do you have questions for Lieutenant Garvin?
Yes, I have. Hi, Lieutenant Garvin. Sorry for my voice this evening.
Okay, how you doing, Councilwoman Grove?
Don't promote me, please.
Oh.
Thanks. I've told my sons to smother me with a pillow if I ever have that thought. So, the very tragic traffic pedestrian fatality on January 7th.
Yes.
Is there any more information on the major crash investigation or the investigation into the what appears to have been a police pursuit that precipitated it?
So right now, as far as I know, that the investigation is still open. So no word has come down as of yet to us what the conclusion of the findings were.
Thank you. I will ask every month until there's an answer.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right. Any community questions for Lieutenant Garvin? Okay.
I do have one comment.
Commissioner.
Lieutenant Garvin, we at City Center have noted a number of crimes that have occurred on 8th Street between 9th and 10th. And those do get reported on the crime data information. And but what we noticed was that 4 of those occurred last week, and they were robbery related, and not much was reported, not through the police effort, because we did see that. But is there any possibility that store and shop owners don't want some information to be released related to crimes in the area?
There was one thing again that was recorded, and that was the robbery that I spoke about with the juveniles approached the individual that had the headphones and took his lime bike.
Yes.
And that's the only robberies that we've been made aware of.
Okay.
We do want them to report any type of crimes or things that's going on because it may not just affect one business. And some of these suspects, they do tend to travel from different stores. Like I noticed with our thefts, usually if Alo is hit, which is in Georgetown, I know that we need to push people down to the Lululemon on F Street because I know they're coming.
Right.
You know, so it's just about just getting that communication out, keeping it flowing.
Okay. Well, thanks for the work that you do for all of us in 2C04. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I have one more question that just came to my mind.
Okay.
I know you've been getting a significant amount of noise complaints for the Connecticut and K for the buskers at that corner. Has there been any mitigation to that you're aware of, or are you, MPD, receiving the guidance that you need from other government agencies to address some of the concerns there?
Is it Connecticut and K Street?
Yes. I believe it's Connecticut and K. Is that correct?
Yes, it's 1101 Connecticut Avenue. It's an office building at the Farragut North Metro Station entrance. There's a rock guitarist who is quite loud, quite good, and quite loud.
And and what time of day is he playing past the 10 p.m.?
No. It's mostly
Okay.
at the rush hour, like 4 to 5 p.m. But today he was there at 12:30 apparently. I had a conversation with the Golden Triangle gentleman who that's his corner. And he's checked with a number of other stakeholders right there. There's a Wells Fargo brick and mortar bank, and there's a Smoothie King, and several others that have actually no problem with this. So I happen to know someone whose fourth floor office is right over it, and they don't have a problem with this. So it's not a universal complaint. But the people that are disturbed by it are very vocal.
Okay, that's something that we'll just have to continue to monitor. I also am aware that the saxophonist now I hear that he's returned at City Center. So I'll make sure our midnight units understand that after 10 o'clock, if he's caught playing, that we will make contact with him.
Right,
He's
Commander,
been made aware. I think it's because of the weather. He may have stopped because it was kind of cold, but now that the weather has changed, the emails are starting to come back in on he's made his presence known already. So,
right.
Yes.
Well, if I might say, we did appreciate the weather, keeping him under limits, but he does play very loudly, and not all his music. It is right at the corner of Palmer Alley and 9th Northwest. And we're primarily residential in that area. And we're subzone residential. And yet the residential rules do not apply to us. And that's one reason we would like funding for the Sound Mitigation Act, as well as I'm sure the people at Gallery Place, condos and other condos in this area really need that to happen, because it makes your job a lot easier, because these folks who are making this loud music would need to be licensed to do that, no matter when they play. But I do appreciate your and Commander Savoy's attempt to have this individual stop his playing, but unfortunately he can rip it until 10 o'clock. So that's generally what he does. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant. We appreciate your being here, and thank you for all your service.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Have a good night. Thank you. Is anybody representing MPD 1 with us this evening? Hey, Captain, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, great. Sorry, my computer is not cooperating today. Sorry for my tardiness. I have been actually out in Chinatown right now. One of the biggest issues we've been having, in the ANC may be aware of it, has been with these after hours juvenile groups showing up at 7th and H. So I'll just start with that. It's from about 3:30 to about 6:30 in the last couple of days. We've been seeing pretty large groups of juveniles exiting the metro area after school, blocking the sidewalks, kind of being disorderly. They tend to clear out later in the evening, we've noticed. Our main concern is just like everybody's general safety, obviously, the safety of people coming to the area. Last night was a Capital Caps game. So we had a lot of pedestrians, and then we had a lot of the juveniles. It was a lot of competing for sidewalk space. We are committed to having lots of officers there to kind of make sure that those spaces remain safe. It's a little bit of a challenge. We're working with Metro to make sure that they can get back on the Metro safely and exit the area. We did have a juvenile curfew zone in the Navy Yard over the weekend. So we are looking at that as an option for the Chinatown area if needed. The way that works is it would be at 8 p.m. That is an option that we have. We haven't used it yet in Chinatown. We've used a drug-free zone, which has been pretty successful. So that's something that we're looking to work into. I will definitely update the ANC once we know more about those curfew zones. We'll obviously put up signs and advertise those on social media if we do decide to do a curfew zone. Other than that, violent crime and property crime in PSA 101, which intercedes with ANC 2C, has been pretty good. We have no robberies to report out in the last 30 days. That's even with the warming weather. We did have one assault with a dangerous weapon that was closed with an arrest. Those were two individuals that knew each other. So that was closed on scene. Other than that, that was our only violent crime in PSA 101 for the last 30 days. Overall, our property crime is down. We did see a small spike in burglaries. Those were largely in the Mount Vernon Triangle area. We had 3 in one night. We're working closely with the bid on those to make sure that we get those places secured. There was a couple businesses, their glass entrances were hit. So just like to remind any businesses owners on the call that make sure your alarm is active and that it is answered by somebody. That's the biggest kind of problem we see, is that an alarm just is audible but doesn't necessarily call anybody, doesn't call a shop owner or a business owner, and doesn't notify the police. So if you can have something that notifies you and us at the same time, a system that works like that, that's great. So we can get officers there immediately to investigate. We only had one theft from auto in the last 30 days. So I think everybody's starting to listen to me and not leaving expensive things in their cars. I appreciate that. That's fantastic for PSA 101. Our theft's slightly down, and our motor vehicle theft, we only had one vehicle stolen in the last 30 days. So I'm pretty happy with those stats. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, and we're going to work closely with those burglary stats. And I'm available for any questions.
Thank you so much, Captain. We appreciate you being here. I know that there has been several instances in which the drummers have formed at near 7th and H during games. And I'm wondering, has there been any conversation with those folks, or telling them to stop or knock it off or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've definitely had conversations with him about the 10 o'clock. That's the part that MPD can criminally enforce. I'm getting in touch. I've been in touch with our legislative affairs person at headquarters in reference to the noise statute that the Department of Buildings and DCLP or DLCP, I'm sorry,
Yes.
is the enforcer of. I think you've already probably heard the issue is the funding for that is what we're running into. It's not currently funded, and it is a civil enforcement that's not under MPD's purview. So that's kind of the issue we're running into with that. I have flagged that for our legislative affairs person that works with the council to let them know that we're running into this issue where we have constituents complaining about noise, and really the only tool that we have in our toolbox right now is that criminal enforcement under the disorderly statute. So we can have kind of conversations with those people, let them know that they are disturbing people, and then absolutely enforce anything after 10 o'clock. And that's kind of what we've been doing lately. And hopefully the the noise statute gets funded so that we can civilly enforce those.
Right. Just a question for you. Civilly versus criminally, I guess criminally is arrest potentially, and civil is like a fine?
Well, when it comes to certain crimes like the noise at night, they can, I believe, I'll have to do my homework on that, but I believe we can still enforce that with what's called a 61D, which is kind of like a summons that we can write on the street
Oh,
and give to somebody. So it's like almost like a ticket. It does count as a quote unquote arrest because it's just not a custodial arrest, meaning we take you
Oh.
into custody. But we do those for things like dog bites, disorderlies, public consumption of marijuana can be one as well. The person has to be able to be identified, but those are things that we can write. And then they can once they're given that summons and they come to the police station to adjudicate that summons, they can elect to have a court date or they can pay and elect to forfeit, which is essentially paying a fine. It's still classified under the criminal kind of umbrella.
I see.
Civil, we don't have any civil enforcement that we can do for noise.
Gotcha.
Civil enforcement for us is things like parking tickets. Those are a civil enforcement we can do, but we don't have anything currently that allows us to write a civil infraction for noise.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that clarification. I do have commissioners, do you all have any questions? Commissioner Lee.
Yeah, just a comment. I happen to thank you again for the arrest of the burglars over at TISM last month. I happened to walk by TISM and I went in and I mentioned just to speak to the owner since I live close by, and I mentioned that I asked her about the theft and told her about the arrest, and she said that it was the first time she heard that there was an arrest, and though she did mention that police did come by and make a report. And so her only feedback to me was that it would be nice. It would have been nice had someone reached out and let her know that the outcome of that. So that was the only comment I wanted to make.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's an easy, low-hanging fruit I can take care of. The prosecutor's office in that case can definitely take care of that. They usually do have somebody that reaches out to them. But I'll be happy to have our community outreach people stop by and kind of give them an update on that case. That's super easy for us.
Great. Thank you. I do have two hands online. We'll start with Howard Marks.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Schenkel, and thank you, Captain, for your service. I live at the Residency Gallery Place, and I see that there's also waiting in line is Andrew Cohn, who also lives in our building. 300 people live in our building, as you know it. It's right above the Chinatown metro station. It's a condominium. And you referenced your first item today was these juveniles that have swarmed across the street on the west side of 7th Street, just south of H, in front of Raising Cane. That's true. That's the name of a new chicken restaurant that opened, very popular. To me, it resembled Clockwork Orange. It was total chaos. There must have been at least 75 to 125 juveniles blocking the sidewalk. There were others that were going up and down the street on the Lime bikes, doubling up recklessly back and forth, in and out of traffic. People could not get through. And for the first time, I saw some of your people there. I didn't see you, but I did see some of your people. And I saw 3 National Guardsmen. They were out there helping your police. I know they've been criticized, but I think they acted with a great deal of deportment and were great help to the Metropolitan Police, although there was a confrontation, maybe you're not aware of, between one of the guardsmen and one of the juveniles. It was a little bit of a scrum. I can't say how it started. And I think the guardsmen acted with a great deal of civility. I'm really scared. I mean, I've lived since 2014, lived in this building. It is like chaos. It's totally unacceptable. This kind of behavior. It's like I say, it's like some sort of horror movie from Hollywood. And they don't move off the sidewalk. They won't let people through. They go back and forth. I've never seen anything. I grew up in Chicago, which is a very tough place. I never saw that in Chicago. I haven't seen it here until like 10 days ago it started. And they also block passengers from going down the escalator at the metro station, the north end of the metro station. To me, I don't like to use the word crisis, but it's a crisis. And I don't know if you have to go to the school, because I think these people are coming from this charter school. I won't mention it because they don't have proof that it's coming from there. But clearly, it has to be like a team effort, including the leadership of that school, together with the people from the Board of Education, whatever, social workers, because it's intolerable. So enough on my soapbox. That's what I wanted to tell you, Captain.
No, I don't disagree with you. It rises above annoyance or disorderly behavior. I absolutely agree. There was a meetup supposed to be of the juvenile group at Navy Yard. I had to end up working both my days off to deal with it. So it is at the point where there's a crisis. We do have tools in our toolbox, a juvenile curfew zone that we're trying to use. And I understand the frustration. We're kind of in a tough spot with enforcement where we can enforce. There's no loitering laws in DC. There's disorderly statutes, and we try to use that. We did make 3 arrests today at the 7th and H Metro for juveniles fighting. I know that's a drop in the bucket, but it's those it takes those steps, and we had, I think, all told 40 to 50 officers in the Chinatown area because we had such problems yesterday with the National Guard. So I don't disagree with you. It's incredibly frustrating. It's frustrating on my end too. I hate seeing it because we've done so much work in Chinatown to make it a great place for everybody to come visit and live. And, our crime has gone down so far. I hate to see it taken off the rails by juvenile activity after school. So we definitely already have our school safety division engaged with the surrounding charter schools. I will say that they don't all come for those charter schools. They're coming through the metro because we do monitor them, and we monitor them coming off. And I think unfortunately, this has been a side effect of Union Station being closed after school to anybody under the age of 18. So the last week, Amtrak has closed Union Station to anybody under the age of 18, including the food court. And I think that used to absorb a lot of after-school traffic. We were actually had a working group doing police, law enforcement surges in Union Station after school because of that. And I think that's kind of changed the dynamic here because they no longer have that space available to them after school. So now they're finding new areas, and the weather just hasn't been on our side this week as far as it doesn't push people back inside. That's not going to solve anything because we have warmer weather coming, but it's something that we're definitely working towards. I understand your frustration. I hear it, and we're just working at it.
Just briefly, thank you so much for being so responsive. I think it's going to be, we here at the Residents of Gallery Place want to help you. It's shocking. It's certainly going to affect sales of our units. Definitely, people see that out there. I don't want to live here. It's chaos. So, and the second thing is that I think there's a term, incommoding, where people block the sidewalk. People were having to walk on 7th Street, walk out into this dangerous street with buses. They could not go by. So, we're with you. Michael knows how to get a hold of me, and we'll work with you, Captain, until this is taken care of. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more hand in, Mr. Cohen.
Hi there. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks, Captain Habernack, for corresponding via email and for setting the stage of your current. This is about noise enforcement, so understood the 10 p.m. limit, sort of what you have access to now. My question is about last week on that same email chain, representatives from Department of Buildings talked about an effort to get you all coordinated to think about other ways to kind of cut through this stalemate and see about DOB's joint enforcement if they need MPD to accompany them to talk to busters. So I'm wondering, has there been any update with that coordination? And if you don't know, there's somebody from the mayor's office or the council member's office who can chime in on that later in this meeting. That'd be great too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we co-respond with multiple agencies. We do it with Department of Behavioral Health for mental health crisis. We do it with our licensing DLCP when we're doing vending enforcement. So definitely something we're willing to do. I'm happy to assign an officer to liaise with the Department of Buildings enforcement officer. And that is something on my radar, and I'll gladly work that out with them. So definitely something we do all the time. If we can't do the enforcement, if they just need somebody there to provide kind of scene safety while they do the enforcement, that's something we frequently do, and especially if it's another DC agency. So very doable. Happy to help wherever we can.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that seems to have been the case from what DOB has said on these email chains is they need backup essentially to go talk to these folks to issue the citations that they can do with their noise readers. So yeah, if assigning somebody would be just wonderful. I guess the follow-up question is the Noise Act as it stands now. Obviously, as you mentioned, the new one has yet to be funded. So under that current issue, is there other enforcement options beyond what you just talked about of DOB getting somebody to kind of from your office to accompany them?
Unfortunately, no. So we have a pretty bright line when it comes to First Amendment activity. So we need that legal authority or ordinance authority to enforce any impingement on the First Amendment. And, it may not be something specifically political, but it still is considered First Amendment, right? Playing music. And we need that in the way that we can limit that as an agency or as a law enforcement agency is through those ordinances or legislative pass. And we don't have any, the path that we do have right now that we can use is there's just that we can limit kind of loud noises is that noise at night, so 10 p.m. Or if they're inside a building using language that could create a fight or a brawl. So those are really our only enforcement right now. So yeah, so that's definitely something that's all we have in our toolbox right now for noises. So I know that kind of is frustrating to hear, but that's all we have at this moment.
Thank you very much, Captain. We appreciate you. I do want to say that everyone on this call, I would encourage you to contact your council members, including your at-large council members, and ask them why this was not funded and given priority to the residents of downtown, because we've been asking for it for years to have some mitigation arm for this, and it has not come to fruition. Commissioner.
And if I just might add to that, we did hear 2 months ago in this room that it was funded. However, the funding was again pulled, and now that has gone to the mayor's office for trying to figure out which things that were unfunded, which of those could be funded. So not only do you need to get in touch with those who are on the council, but also those who are in the mayor's office to say, this is very important to us because, as the captain has mentioned, there are currently no laws in place that deal effectively with this. And I myself have made phone calls and no one can do anything until 10 p.m. And that's just not right, nor is it fair to the residents and the people who live in our ANC.
And not to jump on the bandwagon, but Additionally, if we're going to have additional residents living downtown and increasing housing downtown, we're going to need to have some changes to make it more hospitable for people to coexist in the downtown area. Thank you so much, Captain. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for sharing all your information, and please keep up the good work, and thank you for your service.
Yep, and next month I'll have a little bit more information about the Formula One racing kind of impact on the ANC. I didn't have time to gather that this time, but I will have more information about street closures and stuff like that to look forward for this summer.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting.
To say the least.
That's all I can say. We'll move
Thank you.
forward with Metro Transit Police, and we have in the room Lieutenant Barja.
Hello.
Oh, thanks for filming.
Hear me okay?
No. Good. On?
Can you put the camera?
Oh, there it
up?
is.
All right, Lieutenant Bargy with Metro Transit Police Department. In reference to, I think it's an IndyCar race. We've already canceled days off for that weekend. We are anticipating a lot of metro traffic with all the street closures. We don't know what the street closures are yet, obviously, but we're preparing. So we will have all hands on deck for that. Really, I don't have anything specific to brief out on outside of what Captain Herbenak was already speaking on, which is the juvenile disorder. For us, this is a system-wide problem. I believe he referenced Navy Yard. It does typically start at Navy Yard waterfront area. It also starts down south at Pentagon City as well. They tend to start there at the mall. They start coming up north, they hit Navy Yard, they hit waterfront, they get kicked out of those locations. They make their way up towards Gallery Place or U Street. We have also seen some splintering off towards the Noma Union Station area. He did talk about Union Station being closed. Again, that is Amtrak's, that is not us. Our station remains open. So part of the issue for us is with these large groups of kids, obviously we're moving them around. That is what we do. We're people movers. But when you put too many rowdy kids into a small tin can and run it into a tunnel, you end up with problems on the train. So, our solution for our end is part of the problem on their end, which is, we kind of meter them in about 10 at a time. And we communicate with each other. Hey, did that group leave? Great. 10 more can come in, but it does create a bottleneck. And so, we're working together to try to come up with a better solution. But for us, that's what's worked the best to kind of keep the peace in the station. And then it also chills them out whenever they get wherever they're going. And we don't only do that at Gallery, we also do that at our other locations where we have big groups trying to come in all at once. We say, hey, hang on, slow down. 10 of you can come in at a time. And that's been effective for reducing our incidents on the train of violence and robberies and such. But we are in communication with Captain Herbenak. We're going to see if we can work out something that works a little better for everybody.
You do that on the way in and out?
So not on the way out, but the result is on the way out. There are fewer of them because basically we'll take Gallery, for example. If we have, we'll get reports from real-time crime that there's, 50, 60, 70 juveniles coming our way in a big group. That's what MPD is dealing with on the top side, on the sidewalks and things like that. So we'll prepare at Gallery Place and I'll put officers at all the entrances and we'll say 10 at a time. And we let 10 juveniles come in, have units downstairs, or we also work with, I've talked about Allied, they'll be downstairs and we make sure, hey, did those kids get on the train? Excellent. Next group can come in. So we end up with small groups moving through the system, but bigger groups stuck where they are until it's their turn to come in.
Got it.
It's
yeah,
it's not a solution, but it's a patch that we can use to essentially protect the rest of the people using the system.
That's great.
But usually this is a weekend problem, and the last week it's been an everyday problem. So we're just trying to deal with it as we can. So I believe somebody earlier said involvement with the schools would be ideal, but a lot of times it's groups from all over the city, so it's tough to really pin it down.
Right.
Outside of that, I don't really have anything specific. I talked last time about our our trend, crime trend is down. We are still down from last year and the year before. So we're, excuse me, we're still headed in the right direction. But this is just a problem that's kind of cropped up and we're all just sort of trying to deal with it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your report. And commissioners, do you have any questions?
Yes,
The students get free subway passes, correct?
that is correct. Yeah. We are the school bus.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. Is there any questions online for Lamada?
Right.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much for being here. We appreciate
very
you being
much.
here, and
Thank you.
thank you
See
for the
next month.
update.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for your service. We'll move forward with the office of the mayor, the Ward 2 mayor's liaisons, and do I have Tamika on with that? There she is, yes.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good evening, everybody. My name's Jamaica Williams, and I serve as the Ward 2 liaison for the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services. I wanted to go over just a few brief updates this evening. First, the Office of the Chief Financial Officer has reminded DC taxpayers that local tax returns are due on April 15th. Second, we are entering a very challenging budget season, and I know many residents have concerns and questions about priorities, proposed changes, and specific items such as the Amplified Sound Mitigation Regulation Amendment Act that was talked about earlier during the meeting, and other budget-related requests. I flagged all the budget concerns to the mayor's executive leadership team, and they informed me that at this time that the mayor does plan on releasing her proposed budget in April. So all the concerns I have flagged that with the leadership team. And next, DPW spring services are underway, including street sweeping and alley cleaning. Please be mindful that parking restrictions are in effect from March 3rd through October 31st, and vehicles may be subject to ticketing and towing when signs are posted. So signs will be posted to let residents know not to park on the street that day. So when they do street sweeping, they could clean the streets. I also want to share public health and infrastructure update. The Department of Health has lifted the Potomac River Recreation Advisory for Washington, D.C., which is good news as we head into warmer weather. In addition, final steps are underway to restore full flow to the Potomac Interceptor with a mid-March target for completion of emergency repairs. March is Women's History Month, and the mayor's office is hosting several events throughout the month, including the Washington Women of Excellence Awards, with events continuing through March 30th. Ward 2 residents' roll-off day will take place on March 28th from 10 to 2 at Francis Field and Dog Park. So this is an opportunity to dispose of bulk trash such as furniture, mattresses, tables, toys, clothes, and electronics. The mayor's office is also supporting the 2026 National Cherry Blossom Festival, which runs from March 20th through April 12th, 2026. And looking ahead, Mokers will host a Ward 2 Spring Community Cleanup on Saturday, April 25th, 2026. This is at Garrison Elementary, and we are looking for volunteers as well as local businesses and organizations that would like to participate. Volunteers will help with the neighborhood cleanup and community beautification, and then it'll be a family fun day or like a community block party that day. So if you do want to get involved or your business, please email me. Finally, DC will welcome the Freedom 250 Grand Prix from August 21st through August 23rd. The race route map, it has been released, and I will share the link in the chat. Events like this, it brings visitors to our cities and it supports local businesses. And before I do close, I do want to thank the Downtown DC bid for their support during the mayor's Her Story 5K, which took place last weekend and drew nearly 10,000 runners. I will share the link for the announcements that I just made in the chat and my contact information. And as always, if there are neighborhood issues such as missed trash or recycling collection, potholes, graffiti, illegal dumping, or other concerns, please email me with the 311 ticket or send the address and a photo, and I will escalate it to the appropriate agency and help move it toward resolution. Thank you again, and I appreciate your time this evening. If there's any questions.
Yes, thank you so much for your update, your concise update. That was great. I do have a couple things for you. One, I appreciate that DHS is continuing to monitor the area around the MLK Junior Library and doing cleanups there, because that is an ongoing challenge that needs to continue. However, I will say that I am very disgusted by the people who put the signs up saying that there was going to be a cleanup. They have, and I'm assuming this was somebody from DHS, they have screwed, bolted, and nailed the signs into the beautiful trees that are around the MLK library, which is totally unacceptable. And these are not just little bolts or screws or nails. These are huge nails into these healthy trees that are there. And I am in the process of drafting a letter to send to DHS saying that it's totally inappropriate, but I would like that to go to the mayor's office as well, so that she is aware and the mayor's office is aware that these signs are being nailed to trees. Nobody who hangs a sign in DC knows that it should not be nailed onto a tree. It's just unreal to me that this has even happened. So that's my first piece.
Okay, I'm gonna flag that tomorrow morning when I get to the office, and thank you for letting me know that.
Yes. And I'm glad the hers story 5K was very successful. That is great that were over 10,000 runners that participated in that. And I know a lot of these events come to the ANC to go to the Mayor's Special Events Task Force for approval. As with all runs and activities, if the ANC is weighing in on something, we need to have more than 72 hours notice to weigh in on that, because it has to come to a monthly meeting. And we want to be able to ensure that we are creating an atmosphere in which each activity is evaluated independently and fairly the same way across the board. So we would appreciate if those kind of requests, if they are truly meaningful for the ANC to weigh in on them, they need to come at an ANC meeting for that to happen. And the folks in the mayor's office should know that. And not be sending something to us 3 days before an event to get a rubber stamp on it, saying it's okay. The other thing that I am concerned about is the Formula One race that's going to be held here in the streets of DC. I am very concerned that the mayor is supporting this activity. That it again looks like another cave to the Trump administration, in the fact that we're just going to close down our streets, and as the officers said earlier, for potentially several months as they prepare for this, because they have to put up all the walls and fencing and everything to keep pedestrians safe, and spectators safe, that it's going to be a complete disruption for our downtown area. And I'm very, very concerned that we have not had formal updates or briefings about this coming to the ANC. So I'm a little concerned about that. I'm very concerned about it.
Yes, so I know that Trump did sign an executive order for the event. As far as updates, I'm gonna put a link in the chat that goes over like the map and just more updates. And as I continue to get more information, I will send it over to the ANC.
That would be great. I'd appreciate that. It's one thing for him to sign an executive order, but it's another thing for Mayor Bowser to go to the press conference and rah this activity. I was actually appalled to see that the mayor of Washington, D.C. was supportive of this and was on the speakers list for this event. So yes. Are there any other commissioners? Do you have any questions for the mayor's office?
I do have one question, as you know, and I included you in the letter to the mayor, or the second letter that I sent to the mayor related to the Sound Mitigation Act. But I haven't heard back, and I guess I don't necessarily expect to hear back from the mayor, but it would be nice to know that she is in receipt of that letter asking that funding be, for many important reasons, putting that act, funding for that act in a budget that would be carried out. But in any case, certainly you've heard tonight from any number of people that how important that Sound Mitigation Act is. And I would certainly appreciate the mayor and your support for having that funded and enacted. Thank you.
With your letter, it was forwarded to the mayor and the executive team. I actually spoke to someone on her budget team and provided them the letter too. So I'm flagging all concerns, but I flagged your letter earlier this week.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Any community individuals with any questions for the mayor's office? All right. Shamika, thank you so much for being here and for your update. It was very great.
Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate you. We will move forward with Ward 2 Councilmember Brooke Pinto's office. Is Daya on with us?
Hello, everybody.
Hey there.
I'm gonna share my screen quickly. I've got a short
Please.
presentation. All right. Can everyone see?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. We know that basic DPW services remain top of mind for residents. Last week was DPW's oversight hearing before the council, and Councilmember Pinto asked questions about staffing issues, timely trash and recycling collection, and lessons from the January snowstorm and parking enforcement. If you have any Christmas trees on your block, I recommend bringing them as close to a city trash collection point if possible. And I know it doesn't necessarily affect 2C, but leaf collection has also ended. The winter storm has resulted in a lot of potholes and damaged flex posts. So if you see any, please submit them to 311. And we are also still in water main breaks as the weather is changing a lot. I know today was a lovely day. So please continue to report any suspicious water gurgling in the streets or sidewalks to DC Water. As Jamaica mentioned, the mayor announced this week that the ban on recreational activities on the Potomac River has been lifted. Testing of E. coli levels has been safe for recreation range for a couple weeks now, and the last overflow into the river was on February 8th, so over a month ago. As a reminder, swimming is still prohibited. DC water crews have started remediation work on the brush and soil at the spill site, and the full repair of the damaged section is expected to be complete mid-March. Drinking water stayed safe throughout the crisis since the overflow occurred downstream from the Washington Aqueduct intake at Great Falls. Councilmember Pinto urged the Department of Energy and the Environment to conduct more frequent testing of the water, and they have gone from weekly testing to daily testing. This, of course, was all unrelated to the Potomac River Tunnel project that has been going on and will be completed around 2030. That aims to capture over 90% of the regular combined sewer overflows that regularly occur after storms, since 1/3 of our sewer system is combined. Councilmember Pinto remains committed to making the Potomac and Anacostia rivers swimmable in the near future. The council is nearing the end of agency oversight hearings this week and preparing to receive the mayor's fiscal year 27 budget proposal in April ahead of budget hearings. 2 weeks ago, MPD's 12-hour hearing had over 100 public witnesses. We know that there are still many questions and concerns about MPD's coordination with immigration enforcement. We know how harmful the actions of the federal government and federal officers have been and continue to be across the country and in DC. There have been 3 federal officer-involved shootings in DC in the last 6 months. Councilmember Pinto and her colleagues continue to explore the best ways to protect residents locally. Last week, the council unanimously passed 2 bills, including legislation Councilmember Pinto introduced that would do 2 things. First, it would require that an MPD officer is on the scene of a federal officer-involved use of force, that the footage from the MPD officer's body cam be made public within 5 days with the consent of the victim or family member if someone was harmed. Second, it would require the names of directly involved federal law enforcement officers to be included in MPD's database after a serious or deadly use of force incident. The second bill involves collection of information about the federal officers. Councilmember Pinto introduced another permanent bill which would require a record of all federal agents in attendance at MPD roll call to provide transparency with MPD joint patrols with federal agencies. As you may have heard, Congress voted along party lines to pass a disapproval resolution of the DC Council's decision to decouple from federal tax code. In the fall, the council voted to decouple DC's tax code from the federal code to not take part in some of President Trump's proposed tax cuts in his One Big Beautiful Bill. States are able to decide how to apply federal tax changes locally, and the council preferred to keep in place locally decided upon tax deductions. The DC Attorney General released an opinion that this disapproval was not passed within the required 60-day timeframe and is therefore invalid. And as Jamaica mentioned, the CFO released a letter last week saying that he agrees with the Attorney General and is advising residents to file as they normally would. And if there is any changes to their guidance, we will share it as soon as we hear. That's all I've got, so I'm happy to take any questions now.
Thank you so much. Commissioners, do you have questions for the council member's office?
I just have one question, and it's fairly simple. For the second time, it's been mentioned that the mayor's budget would be somehow decided in April. Do you know when in April?
That is under the purview of the mayor. It's when she decides to transmit it to the council. From my understanding, she has said that it will be in April.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Any questions from community? Okay, Dia, thank you so very much for being with us tonight. We appreciate you.
Of course, thanks for having me. Have a great night.
You too, bye-bye. We'll now move forward with the downtown DC bid. We have,
Eloise.
Oh, yeah.
Eloise. Hi, Eloise. With
How's
those
it-
great glasses.
Thank you. Let me try and share the screen.
Where are you?
Okay. Just wanted to see if everyone could see my, oops. Here we go. Wrong screen there. There we go. Can you see this screen at all?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay. I wanted to say, good evening, everyone, and I'll try to make this brief so that the rest of you can try to enjoy some of the nice weather we have out. I want to also say thank you to Jamaica for the 5K, her story run. It was excellent, and not sure if anyone had a chance to participate in that run. Just want to give a couple of updates from the bid for our clean and safety data. The numbers are a little different because of the snow and the other activities that were a little lesser. I know some things started to pick up. I heard a couple of you mention about the drumming and the drummer. I know I saw myself witness on Saturday a pretty full-fledged band that was aligned up in or drum line at Indiana Plaza. Our team was there. They didn't make too much noise or stay too long, but there was also a protest simultaneously happening. So stickers, graffiti, our team is still starting to get sporadically throughout the corridors of Chinatown, Pennsylvania Avenue, and other places like a little closer to the White House area. Some are derogatory, but we're able to remove them pretty quickly. As you can see, the numbers for stickers were at 239. And I'll go moving along to some of our daily functions, and in support of mentioning, as you can see, some of the video where we were actually had the opportunity and presented with to walk again in the Chinese Lunar Parade, where we took some pictures there and photos of the entire team at the lantern in the background at, we would say, Anthems Row. So some of the activities that we're actually doing in the bid for our footprint of the street sweeping, working with the unhoused community in support. I myself physically with our new homeless services director for downtown DC, Day Service Center. We had the opportunity to walk through and kind of engage in the middle of that encampment that was at cleanup, should we say, at the library MLK on last Thursday, where we presented some of the individuals with bags to help downsize their belongings. A lot of their items were, as we did see, was soiled. So we got a chance to talk to them and explain to them what our day center services were. And we made a commitment that we are going to also put and work with our outreach vendors there or contractors to be beside them more in the participation of engaging with those individuals to get them to a place where they could be removed from just making MLK the spot or the choice for their community to engage in our center. We have a lot of leaf collections where we collect it up. And as you see throughout the city, well, not necessarily city, but our bid footprint, a lot of the streeteries are restaurants removing their streeteries in that capacity, leaving a lot of underlying debris and gutter clogging. So our SAMS team has been tasked also with not just removing graffiti and stickers, but also physically cleaning out those gutters. We have pressure washer teams with trucks where our team is up at the start of the morning, 4 o'clock a.m. And that's when they do a lot of that cleaning so that it's not in the way or impacting the traffic. Weed whacking and the other public activations is some of the other things that you see. So we have activities that's coming up that we're excited about. I'm not sure if any of you all knew those exact dates now. At Downtown DC Bid, entire team not only clean for these activities, but also participate and walk in these activities. Cherry Blossom Festival, the National Kite Fest that's on the mall that starts on the 28th. Our team would be cleaning those pretty much the half of the monument grounds in collaboration with the Cherry Blossom Department, Palapalooza, and then the parade that's going to start also on the 11th of April. So as you see here, Sakura and Gogo at Anthems Row, we're presenting this activation that's going to be on the 29th, which is the day after the Kite Fest. And we invite everyone to come out to this free event. Then we have Jazz and Blossom on April 12th, that concert at Franklin Park, which is also a free concert. In addition to a couple of other activations that we have for the month of April, it's going to be a DJ festival on K Street, which also is going to be combined with Anthems Row and is featuring a DJ from another country. His name is Black Coffee. He's pretty well known. And we encourage you all to come out and support us and have a good time. Go up to our third. So our public art activations, just showing again what we, I'm sorry?
We're okay. Sorry. Lights just went off.
Oh, okay.
We're not moving enough.
Okay. So just showing like some of the public art that Downtown DC Bid has also joined with
Jumping
artists.
jacks.
So I just want to say like what we try to do here at the Bid is engage with, if not 98%, like we would try to even make it 100 if we could, but we try to keep the business in our district and try to, get more people to make the stores and businesses around our footprint known to individuals, not just within the bid itself, but if they're coming from other areas, to try to make it a destination place that they know where they can come to get a certain type of food, certain type of clothing, to keep it vibrant in our bid. Again, for our safety team updates, we are starting to do a little more awareness and training. Lucas and I have been working with this team now. It's been operating for like 22 months, as you can see. This is without FY26. So with the safety corridor grant and having them to, do more reporting and then having training with the police department and other things to look for in reporting factors. So coming up with ways that we can get more immediate attention to those problematic areas. Okay, so just want to thank you all for listening and answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Ella Louise. We appreciate you and the work that the downtown DC bid does. I have a few questions for you. One is related to the cleanup around MLK. You probably have heard me describe to the mayor's office the installation of these signs on trees around, and the installation of a sign that says no camping or storage of items in this area. Was that also put up by DHS?
I do believe the mayor's team for that department handled for the signage. The bid had no
Oh, yeah.
involvement, but what we do, our portion is or should I say, take in it, is to engage with the unhoused, do any
Correct.
excessive pressure washing or daily for our assigned SAMs in the team that is assigned to that area, walking past, removing food and trees from the tree boxes, those
Got
kind
it.
of, any mounting of signs we're not involved in.
Yeah. I was just curious if you knew
Oh, who did it?
what they're going to do with this
Responsible?
no camping or storage of items.
Oh, you mean what they do with the items after they remove it?
No, I was just like I've never seen these signs before, the no camping or storage of items. And I was wondering
I've seen the signs before,
Oh, you
placed
have? Okay.
in areas, yeah. So the intent of the signs is just to give them the notification that it is not permitted and that it's awareness to know that the cleanup is happening. So what I've learned from being on site on Thursday is that that cleanup will take place every week. Now, I can talk to a couple of the other departments within the mayor's office because we always have a Friday morning call. And I can let them know the way and the form of the structure and how those signs are mounted is not, again, in conjunction with Tamika, I can let them know that it's not acceptable, so to speak. So they can come in
Those
and
poor
remount
trees.
it maybe with a bracket as opposed of,
Yes.
through.
And some of them they put and I know they want to have them secure so someone doesn't snip them, but they used cable ties on some of them to secure them. And I get it that they want to have it secured so no one can easily snip the thing and take it off and dispose of it or whatever. But, if you're going to put up a post and put it on. That's my thing. Another question for you. A while ago, this has been several years ago, DDOT put up a number of, well, they put up all the little posts around for parking downtown in the downtown area where they had each parking space was a number and you put the number in and stuff like that. Do you know if they're going to remove those posts since they're not in use?
I don't know that. I can ask
Okay.
that question. And when,
Okay.
if they're suspending them, or if not, how long indefinite do you?
Spaces used to be numbered.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the spaces, if it's,
Kiosk thing you were paying for.
Right, for the spaces. And the
Right.
reason I ask that is because these posts are, I was opposed when they put these in over 8 years ago. And I'm even more opposed to them now because they're not maintained
they're
and
not active
there's
at all.
no stickers on them. So they're just a post sitting on the sidewalk with no rhyme or reason or use for them. And I thought they were going to remove them. And I have not seen any movement on it. And I just want to know if you knew anything about it. So,
Well, we can certainly find out because we work
yeah.
with DDOT within securing spaces and
Yeah.
and blocking spaces as well, blocking off streets. So we can get an answer for you this week.
That'd be great. Thank you so much.
I'll list it for both Lucas and myself will be responding back. for
Thank you so
for
much.
those two answers about those to remount those signs for at the unhoused population.
Yes.
And then also about these meters that's non-active. What's the intent to do with them going forward?
Great. Thank you very much. Commissioner Lee.
Yes, Ms. Johnson, I wanted to ask, maybe make a slight suggestion. Earlier today, you made a presentation and it included some statistics on the amount of interactions you've had. I've been trying to follow along these statistics over time, but it would be helpful if you could maybe perhaps work with Lucas, perhaps, or you can do this, but create like a graph over time so we can see the relationship from 1 month to the next month and maybe year on year. That way, we can, have a better appreciation of all the hard work you're doing and not just have like, 2 points of data, but have more data to.
You would like month to date?
Yeah, year on year,
Right.
this year compared to last year, 12-month rolling data, just so that we can have a better feel for what's happening out there.
Will do.
Thank you.
We have the listing that is downloaded into the software that we get for the updates, so we can run a report for that.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you so much, Eloise.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all the work that Downtown Bid does to keep us
I want to also
clean and tidy.
I just also want to say to all of you that my appreciation go beyond just my job, because I also live in the bid and
Yes.
in Penn quarters.
Yes. We love that. Thank you.
And thank you for all the events you guys put on this past month. I've been to a
Yeah.
bunch of them and they've been amazing.
It was great.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Sport has a question for you. I'm sorry.
Hello. It's good to see you.
Same here.
I've requested intervention with an individual who is unhoused, and the intervention was accomplished. I'm not sure to whose satisfaction ultimately, but I'm wondering, is there any situation under which a person or an individual who is unhoused and has an encampment set up right at a hotel entryway, if that person is satisfied where he or she is and can't be convinced to go into a housing situation, what needs to happen for that situation to change, I guess, is one that we're all dealing with at this point. Not that I need you to answer.
Is it near is that near 10th Street?
Yes.
We're working with our, and I see that every morning, so to speak.
Yes.
And we are working with our outreach department, H3, to give us a fast track solution for that.
Right. And I do
And
appreciate
promoting
that
for an
team
update.
and the professionalism and the degree with which the individual who's in charge of that, that's within her field. So I wish a lot of luck to you with
Well,
that
now
and
that
a lot of hope.
we also have our new director of our outreach department, and we could also, I'll schedule a meeting so that Lucas, myself, and Ishan can go visit that hotel too, because that also gives us some backing and support to.
It would be great for all of us to meet
Thank you.
the new homeless services director, actually. If he could come to one of our meetings, that would be awesome.
Okay, we'll schedule that, because last Thursday he and I were together at MLK, but I will work with him and Lucas so that we all can.
No hurry.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, I am still trying to promote a kickball game between the Downtown Ambassadors and the Golden Triangle guys. All of you say that you will kick the butts of each other, so this needs to be resolved.
We will be more than willing, but most of our guys are there working like constantly. So
Yeah,
try to
I'd
put in
like
some
to have a
playtime.
public event that would really promote and highlight their work. You know, that would be fun and get some good publicity for their work. Is the actual point.
That sounds like a challenge, so we'll try to work on that before.
We just need a venue.
Thank you
which
so much.
Which game is that? Which type of sport would that be?
Kickball. It's kind
sounds
of
like-
like
You know,
baseball, except you kick a big
Well,
basketball-sized ball.
For kickball, the ideal space, at Chinatown Park, we have that parklet that's blocked off there with jersey walls. So that sounds like it might be a good.
Okay,
perfect.
Small diamond.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Eloise.
And I'll work on those updates, especially at the hotel, at the Embassy Hotel. No, I know where that location is. We've been eyeballing it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll now move forward with our APCA licensure. We have 3 licenses this evening. The first one is at Haleo at 4707 Street Northwest. This is APCA license 121497 for a streetery endorsement with a stipulated endorsement. Is someone representing the establishment on with us? Okay. I'm just going to share our process here. This is the streetery endorsement that they have outside of Haleo with 24 seats. It's the full hours of service that is displayed there, and hours of consumption on the sidewalk. You can see Sunday till 1 a.m., Monday through Saturday until 11:30 p.m. And the proposed operations of the streetery will be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. This has been a long-standing streetery.
Yes.
That has been there, and a really great streetery. And I think that it definitely, we should support this, in my opinion. So any questions?
I move that we provide a letter of support for a stipulated endorsement for their streetery endorsement.
Second. And the motion was made by Commissioner Groff, seconded by Commissioner Lee. All those in favor? So 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that. We'll get that off to APCA. Ormel is our next location. Is anybody representing Ormel?
It's the same Jose Andres
Ormel?
group.
Ormel, sorry. I put an R in there, didn't I?
They've also had a long-standing.
Long-standing streetery, nice streetery as well.
Same group. I move that we provide a letter of support as well for OML, ABRA number 075944, stipulated endorsement for a streetery endorsement.
I'll second that. Mr. Schenkel seconding, Commissioner Groff making the motion. All those in favor? So 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that. And finally, we have immigrant foods, immigrant food. This is APCA license 118473. And this is for the streetery endorsement, and with the alcohol service Sunday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And this is at 925 13th Street.
I'll make a motion with that.
Commissioner Swart moves that we send a letter of support.
Letter of support.
Okay, with a stipulated license. Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Groff. All those in favor? So 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that.
Chair Schenkel, could you please send me all three of the ABRA documents? I don't have them,
Yes,
which will make it easier for me to send the letters.
you got it. You got it. And speaking of that, thank you, Commissioner Groth, for helping, for preparing the letters and sending them out last month. That was extremely, extremely helpful.
It is so much easier to just do it in the next couple of days
Yes.
than to matter about it endlessly about who's doing it.
Exactly.
I would much rather just do it.
Next on our community grants process, we have World Outreach Nonprofit Wellness and Mobile Hygiene Initiatives for the Unhoused at MLK Junior Library. Funding for the rental of a mobile shower unit. Do we have anybody representing the establishment on with us, or not the establishment, the organization?
If no one's representing the organization, I'd like to move that we send a letter expressing appreciation for their work, but some concerns that I'm sure some of us have. For one thing, the amount of money that they're requesting is very much out of scale to either our resources or the grants given to other community groups. And for another, there are showers at the Downtown Day Services Center 5 days a week with a shuttle bus from MLK Library, with both showers and washing machines and all the other services that are at the Downtown Day Services Center. So I move that we express those and possibly other concerns and ask them to come back with a scaled down request for something specific that would be a unique value add to the situation.
How much are they asking?
$25,000 for 7 months of once a month. It's a mobile shower unit.
25.
I sent you the document.
Yeah.
I sent you the email.
I agree that I think it could be duplicative
I
of
think it
other
is.
activities in the area.
Mm.
And I appreciate that they're doing a kind of a jobs training component of this in it. But I think we need much more information before we can make a decision about this moving forward. But I agree sending the letter.
If you like, I could draft a letter and send it around for
Yes.
input.
Is
Yes.
that technically the same as tabling this?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
tabling this request
Yes. And requesting more information.
and requesting more information and giving feedback.
So I move that we table the the discussion and send a letter requesting additional information on the activity.
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart, and all those in favor. So 4 of 4 voting in favor of that, or tabling. Okay, we're moving forward with transportation and public safety. The first item of business up for us is DDOT, the 16th Street Beautification Project. And
we have our guest, Aaliyah, is here. Is here.
Aaliyah, terrific. Awesome. Yes, I can share the slides.
And can we, put the camera on you, so
Oh, great.
it's a public meeting, so you have to be visible to the public.
That's true.
Sorry, I'm getting there. Whoops, wrong one. There we go.
Smile. You're on candid camera.
This is not a smile-worthy project.
This is the one you want, I believe. It's thinking. There it goes. Whoops.
We also brought fact sheets. Would you like me to leave them with you all to give to anyone?
It would be better if we could show to the public.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can
It
take
was-
this. Where's my Zoom?
It was, I think, near the end of
Sorry.
the documents I sent you at 2 this afternoon.
Yeah, got it. I'm on it. Boom.
And Aaliyah sent us all this morning.
This is great. Thank you.
Okay, there we go. Okay,
Okay.
whoops,
So
sorry. There it is.
great. Thank you. So hey everyone, I'm Aaliyah Mejias. I am the DDOT project manager for the 16th Street Northwest Landscape Medians design project. And I really appreciate having the time to share this design with you all. Next slide, please. So I'll go over the project scope, share some context just so to level set for everyone. An overview of the concept design, and then share the project schedule, and then we should have time for comments and questions. And I already received some questions, but I'm happy to answer those. Okay, next slide, please. So as mentioned, this is a beautification project on 16th Street. We're going to be installing raised vegetated landscape medians between H and K Streets Northwest. It's going to be directly in the center of the roadway. And the key features really are the landscape plantings, safety improvements, and impervious surface removal, which has stormwater benefits. Next slide, please. And so this is the southern block. It's only 2 blocks long for the scope of work. So the southern block, H to I Street Northwest. And I just want to point out that basically the roadway is 2 ways of travel, one lane each. And then we have a center median, and adjacent and between the travel lane and the median, we have a middle shoulder. Next slide, please. And the current treatments along 16th has a couple of tactical installments. So we have a raised curb, tactical delineators, we have asphalt and concrete pavers, pedestrian refuge areas, and stamp brick concrete median. And the materials used throughout the site are for both aesthetic and functional purposes. But I want to call out the granite pavers that we will maintain throughout. Because those not only have that higher touch of design, but it also delineates the travel lane, and it acts as that shoulder if any vehicle is stopped in the travel lane. And the reason why I point out just by the Hay Adams is because this is only a section where the median is a little bit more narrow, and we're proposing trees. So to accommodate the trees, we're going to actually expand a little bit to maintain the same width throughout. So that granite paver area won't be on that western side, but we'll look at that in a little bit. So, and also the Hay Adams is only spot or the only location that we have temporary parking. So there's 15-minute parking, and that's the only location within the project scope that has parking, and it will remain. Next slide, please. So here is our northern block. It's the same treatment, except it does not have that median break as the southern does. Next slide, please. So in our investigation, we've learned that without having a median break, we noticed that people have been taking illegal U-turns on I Street, and that poses a really dangerous situation for pedestrians and drivers, as I Street is a westbound only travel lane. And we are excited to use this as an opportunity to prevent that dangerous behavior with design.
Could you tell me what a median break is?
Yeah, basically, as you can see right here, it's just, and you'll see in the proposed design, you'll see it better. If you want to go to actually the previous slide. One more, there we go. So you can see where that alley is. There's kind of a break between the center median. Yeah, so that allows drivers to go through, and it doesn't have those curb stops. So people use it as a U-turn, people use it to back up. Yep, great question. You can go to a couple of slides next. And one more. Oh, great. Thank you. And so the basis of design really is inspired by the Connecticut Avenue Northwest medians, because they've look really nice, but also they've really stood the test of time. The materiality is very durable for our urban environment, and we've learned that irrigation and the lighting is really nice, but the irrigation is really key in having the planters be successful. And then having the setback that you see allows for increased visibility for drivers and pedestrians. Next slide. So our concept was really, designed around all this context. And as mentioned, we're going to be installing raised medians, but there will be 4. So you can see the 4 delineated in the image. And they will be constructed within those curb stops. So everything outside of the curb stops are going to remain the same, but within the curb stop is where those medians will be installed. And our goal really is to increase beauty and have plantings with year-round interest, as well as increase safety for our for all roadway users, not just pedestrians, but all roadway users in our community. And there is a number of programmatic needs, such as maintaining the historic view of the White House, having adequate turning radii for all of our large vehicles, for our businesses along the corridor, having mid-block access to the businesses and alleyways, and then having maintaining the parking for Hay Adams. Next slide, please. So here's a close-up of what we're proposing for the southern block. It looks pretty similar to the current layout. Again, really nothing is changing in terms of travel and orientation, except for that western side, or if you're looking at the image, the top part of the southern median, where those granite curb pavers are being removed just to allow that expansion of the median. And that allows the tree alignment and adequate space for trees. And trees really do provide great stormwater management and cooling effects for urban heat. And then we can go to the next slide, where we have the northern block, and that's I to K, and it looks very similar, but now we have that break where what our theory was, people were trying to get to the St. Regis Hotel or potentially missing a turn on K. So this allows people to access the St. Regis or continue traveling north on K if necessary. So people can access the hotel or make those U-turns. But otherwise, it's, again, the same orientation in terms of travel and amount of space that we're using. We are still running traffic analysis for turning radii. So some of the geometry may change. So what that might look like is the planters might be pushed back a little bit. The curve of the pedestrian noses or pedestrian islands might be rounder, but this is going to be pretty close to what it will look like. Next, please. And in terms of materials, a lot of it is what is already on site. So not much is changing except for that precast concrete wall that we're going to be mimicking from Connecticut Avenue. And the intention is to maintain consistency and, maintain that aesthetic. Next, please. And so some other key features, as mentioned, the vegetation will have year-round interest. This is a sample planting. We're still developing the planting, and we've gotten some comments about, using some more reds and whites to symbolize the DC flag. But we're still working through that. And then we'll have low profile plantings at the ends of the planters to ensure visibility for all of our roadway users. We'll have uplighting, irrigation, and then we'll be doing those pavement updates as well as updates to the pedestrian islands. So hardening the noses to prevent people from, driving over them is going to be important. Next slide, please. And so here's just a section of what the median will look like front face on. The precast concrete wall is only 16 inches tall, so it's not, super overbearing. Then the trees are estimated to be around 10 to 15 feet tall at its maturity, but we can always prune them back if necessary. Next slide, please. And here's a view if you were walking westbound on I Street looking south, what it could look like potentially once it's planted this next year. Next slide, please. And so our project schedule, we're currently technically still in winter, so we are here. The design is still being developed. We're almost at 65%. And then this summer, we anticipate being finished with design. We plan to construct in the fall and then complete in the winter. And by the winter, we're aiming for January 2027. Next slide, please. And please, contact me if you have any questions or comments throughout the project. Information's there. the website's also live, and you can stay up to date on any updates through the website. I already uploaded this slide deck to our website, so if you want to take a closer look, please do so. And next slide is just questions, comments. So happy to answer any questions you all have or get information for you at a later date. Thank you.
I have a statement to read. Hopefully my voice will hold out. And then I have some questions for DDOT. And then once other folks have had a chance to comment or ask questions, I have a motion to offer. Ironically, today is an anniversary. 1 year ago today, the jackhammers and bulldozers arrived at Black Lives Matter Plaza. Six days earlier, Mayor Bowser had released a statement that read in part, "We have long considered Black Lives Matter's Plaza's evolution, and the plaza will be part of DC's America 250 mural project, where we will invite students and artists to create new murals across all 8 wards." A year ago yesterday, I held constituent service open air office hours in the pedestrian median area of the plaza. And we witnessed members of the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity pray, sing, and honor the significance of the mural. I'm also reminded of the presentation I heard last year by a DC enslavement historian, C.R. Gibbs, at a 2025 Emancipation Day event, elaborating his research into the history of enslaved residents in Lafayette Square and Decatur House, and that enslaved residents' remains could very well be present under our modern square and neighborhood. Since DDOT was gracious in giving me an individual briefing on this project a few weeks ago, I've been soliciting constituent input, focused mostly in my own single-member district 2C02, as well as with other contacts throughout Ward 2. As we are the residents, organizations, and businesses who directly witness and bear the hosting nature of what the 800 and 900 blocks of 16th Street have become. One 2CO2 constituent captured many of the comments in one email. I'm going to quote from his email. "Regarding the plan to fill the median with plants, I have several thoughts. With the East Wing construction possibly ongoing for many years, the White House has basically removed all public access to Lafayette Park. Lafayette Park serves both as a nice green space in the city and as a historical location for protesting. There are endless examples, including the one that led to the creation of Black Lives Matter Plaza. One prominent example of long-term protest in Lafayette Park was the White House Peace Vigil that ran from 1981 continuously when William Thomas started it until it was unceremoniously removed on September 7th this past year. Making it harder to stand in or march through Black Lives Matter Plaza is a further insult after the removal of the letters last year by our mayor. Our obeying the federal government in advance has only resulted in our city being occupied by troops. And I think we need to stand by the First Amendment for once, instead of capitulating and allowing another public space to not be available for First Amendment activity." Close quote. I've attempted polling of my constituents, and out of about 25 responses to the following choices, the results were roughly: choice A, a new street mural with public input and diverse submissions. That got 16%. Choice B, leave the median blank and open until such time as DC has autonomy again over our public art. That got about 80%. That was by far the biggest response. Choice C was install landscaping in the median as proposed by this project. There was one response which suggested that if we must endure landscaping, that the color palette reflect the red and white colors of DC. This person suggested the DC state tree, which is the scarlet oak, and white blooming magnolias. Choice D, other, please specify. There was one response suggesting very specific public art that I counted as consistent with choice A and lumped it together with that, so that's a 0. Another comment came from a 2C02 community leader after I flippantly referred to this project as lipstick on a pig. Quote, "It's more than lipstick on a pig. It is beauty as a tool of silence." Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The 16th Street median appears to some of us as a scar or open wound since March 10th, 2025, and leaving it blank and open seems authentic to our times. Autonomy is safe and beautiful. Self-determination is safe and beautiful. Democracy is safe and beautiful. Indeed, I believe that we in DC have a stewardship responsibility for the 800 and 900 blocks of 16th Street as the physical, visual, and symbolic path of First Amendment expression of marching on the White House. Leaving the median open and accessible to pedestrians, very large numbers of them at times, is consistent with our oath as commissioners and public servants to preserve, protect, and defend not only the Constitution, including the First Amendment, but also the DC Home Rule Act. I have some questions. Is there an NOI for this project that will be open for public comment? Should people only email you? Will the comments be transparent to the public? Is there a deadline for comment period?
Great questions. No, there won't be an NOI at this point due to us not changing the traffic orientation and our outreach through ANCs and through the bids. Yes, the deadline, I would say, would be, we don't have a hard deadline at this point. I would say end of April, but I'm happy to make them transparent as well.
Transparency, anything to rebuild any trust here
And
would be a step in the right direction.
what would be the right, sorry, can you elaborate?
Transparency of the comments, any effort to rebuild trust
Yeah, I would love
is a step in the right direction.
Yes, I agree with that. I think that we need to be transparent. I believe in transparency, and I can organize the questions and put them on our website. That's helpful.
Second question, can you confirm that there is no DC America 250 mural project?
I can't confirm that. I can't deny it either. There won't be a conflict, however. So that's a separate effort. But I was told that this project will not interfere with that. So
how could you do a street mural with this planting?
It would be temporary. The mural would be temporary, and the mayor has, said go ahead with this landscape median plan.
I believe that I'm the only person in the District of Columbia that remembers her initial announcement. So she now needs
we
to
have seen
answer what she said.
Yeah, well, that's a valid critique. I think designs change and priorities change over time. So, but I understand. Yeah.
Effectively, you're filling up a sizable part of this real estate and making it unavailable to pedestrians. Will your landscape design take into account the First Amendment uses of this space, both to accommodate very, very large numbers of pedestrians, certainly with Lafayette Square closed, and as of the war starting, the ellipse is now closed all the way to Constitution Avenue. There is no adjacent space to hold a large number of people. So have you accommodated that, as well as to have a sturdy installation that could take that kind of practical use?
Yes. So the median itself will be about 12 feet completely wide from the, curb to curb. So the granite pavers will remain, the street will remain, and people can protest in the street as you would. Obviously, where the plants are, they won't be able to stand there. People might trample it, but we do have, we're accounting for that in terms of maintenance. So
any new street mural would have to be temporary.
That's right.
In order to create a new permanent mural in the style with appropriate public input that we had before would be now dramatically more expensive.
That's right.
To remove the landscaping.
Well, no, we would not remove the landscape. The America 250 mural would be a surface mural is my understanding, and that would be done this summer is what I've been
One of the few things we know right now in DC politics is that we will have a new mayor next year and a new administration. We may not yet still have the autonomy to choose our own public art, but all of us think that that day will come. And to make it more expensive, to me, is offensive. And to many, many of my constituents.
I understand.
Those are my questions. Whatever other discussion we have, I have a motion once you're finished.
Question to ask you. Why was there no mention of Black Lives Matters Plaza? And is there any intent to in some way in your design recognize the significance of this area?
I am surprised I didn't say BLM Plaza or Black Lives Matter Plaza in this presentation. I feel like I'm always mentioning it because that's what it is, and it's still called that legally.
It's still legally named
yes.
that.
Yes.
Only DC Council or Congress can change that.
That's right.
Not the mayor.
That's right. It's an incredibly political project, and I think we're just operating under caution, and that's where I'll leave it. Because I think people are nervous I'll just leave it at that.
Yes, we're all nervous.
Yeah.
But your presentation seems to appear as if there were no political content, which is mistaken.
That was not my intention.
I understand that. I personally am unwilling to be silent, to just say, oh, great, cherry trees and pretty flowers.
Thank you.
I will the little pedestrian areas that you have on the end of the aisle, or the end of the rows, are those accessible?
Yes.
Oh,
they will be accessible.
They'll be accessible. So there'll be like a accessible area and then a ridge like we have here on 9th Street, probably.
So the median itself, where the crosswalks will be accessible, and then there will be the curb, which is 6 inches, and then concrete to the planter. And so that area will be 6 inches above.
I see. It will be up.
It's not really intended for like seating or anything, but people can stand there or rest their bag on the curb.
Got it. So it would be more of a it would be more to prevent folks from running into the planters.
That and to prevent vehicles from running into people. It's right. So there'll be a nose cap is what we're calling it, where at the intersection that will be hardened, and that's like the rounded. Sorry, I'm not a traffic engineer, so I'm failing at these terms, but that's where when a car makes a turn onto 16th, it won't, it's like a hard curb, so it's not encouraging people to drive on it. While right now there are mountable curbs, so people can drive over it, and that was intended for the vehicles, the larger vehicles.
Right now, it's a parking lot.
And that's right.
Many days, it is a parking lot of those ginormous limousine 25 passenger buses.
Yes.
Back to back to back to back, filling it up. Also, there are a lot of illegal U-turns on the K Street end.
Yes.
That's very dangerous to pedestrians. I certainly want to see those kinds of things addressed.
Yes. And that's where those hardened edges and pedestrian islands will be. That's why we're doing that.
You don't need to fill in the median to do that.
I understand.
Terrific. I just will comment that I appreciate the thoughtfulness of the design as you kind of laid it out on the reasons why. But I think from a a political standpoint, I have some challenges with this as well. And Commissioner Grothlu, did you want to, go ahead, please.
Do you have a question? Jim?
No, go ahead.
Oh, is this a 1-year project or is it supposed to be multiple years?
So the project from design to construction will be 1 year, but then maintaining it will be into the future.
The Golden Triangle bid is going to do the actual
Maintenance?
work and maintenance.
Okay.
And they do a fabulous job. If you've ever seen the Connecticut Avenue one, it's stunningly pretty.
Okay. That was my question.
They're a class act and do a great job.
And it doesn't sound to me like it's as high as 16 inches. Is that how high Connecticut is? It seems like Connecticut is higher.
It is as high. The planting on Connecticut is a little taller. That's why it appears bigger. And Connecticut Avenue.
And Connecticut does not have the shoulders along the median at all. There's 2 lanes or 3 lanes of traffic each direction.
Right.
There's no, the cars are right next to those.
Yeah.
Medians, right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a question. And have you run this idea by the local businesses in the area, the hotels, et cetera, the restaurants?
Yes, we had a meeting with them last Friday or 2 Fridays ago. Sorry, I'm forgetting the date now. And they were able to provide comments. We met after we met with Commissioner Groth. And a lot
Was AFL-CIO present at that meeting?
they were.
Okay.
And a lot of the questions were related to construction and interferences with, utilities, because we will be making utility connections. Since we're at design phase, I don't have the exact timeline for that, but
There's a water line project that's also happening
Yes.
much sooner
yes,
on those blocks, I assume in the median, but
yes,
they're already going to dig it up for
that's right.
the water lines.
And so we will, communicate with the businesses and anyone along the corridor in advance if there's either water or power issues.
What's the cost of this project?
For the design is 300,000
The
and
construction.
construction's 2 million is estimated.
This is being funded by,
Federal funding and then some local funding for construction.
local funding under the purview of the mayor, or,
Yes.
okay.
I do have to say the design is beautiful.
Thank you. And again, if anyone else has any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you all receive any questions or anything, please, pass it along.
Are there any questions online? I didn't ask that question, sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
Are you ready for a motion?
Yes.
I move that ANC 2C is on record as in favor of DDOT accomplishing only the traffic safety and pedestrian safety portions of the 16th Street. You are now calling it median landscaping project, such as improved signage and measures to prevent illegal U-turns without installing raised curbs or new landscaping.
Is there a second? I will second that. All those in favor? So 2, those who oppose? And abstentions? Okay, so we have 2 to 1 to 1 in this process.
After another resolution last year sometime, I was told by a parliamentarian that 2 affirmative votes and less than 2 negative votes constitutes a passing of a motion. So I would like to request that we get a parliamentary ruling from the Office of ANC on this question.
We shall look at our bylaws right now. Um, Sorry.
By the way, did you bring mine?
New voting proxies. So that our minutes are, I mean, our bylaws do not indicate, oh, a simple majority. A simple majority shall be what wins or what affirms a vote. So this vote will carry with a simple majority. Okay,
Okay,
we will.
thank you very much for your service and your work on this
Thank you
project.
for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here and for a really great presentation. Okay. Let's go back. We have another DDOT proposal on the table, and this is related to parking along
There's a big construction project on Pennsylvania from like 18th to 20th, and everything's torn up. So the Embassy of Mexico's diplomatic parking spaces are disrupted.
I do, yes. So this is related to, I'm sorry, I'm looking for my NOI.
Send it to you.
There it is. I got it. Just took me a second to locate. This is, oops, where is it at? Oh, there it is. 2, right? No, 26. 48. I'm sorry. So many in here this month. Median. So this is to move the parking on that section of the street to the other side of the street.
Of 19th Street, yeah.
Of 19th Street. For that project.
I moved that we send.
Literally had it here. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Christopher. Hi, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, I was just going to present on this
Oh,
NOI
please.
In the absence of our curbside management division. I'm just going to pull up our NOI portal online, if that's okay.
Yep, please. I'm sorry, I had it here and I just totally
Can you see my
cannot
screen?
find it. Yes, we can.
Okay.
I found
So this is
I just found
NOI
it too.
26 dash 48 dash TPA. I mean, I think you guys pretty much covered what it is. We're doing DDOT's currently constructing Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest from 17th Street to Washington Circle. And there is a diplomatic parking zone right here on the north side of Pennsylvania Avenue, and we're just moving it up to 19th Street right here. And so you can see on this document, for some reason it's not scrolling, but it is on this northern section right by the alleyway right here. This would be just converting approximately 60 feet of metered parking to a diplomatic parking zone. And yeah, happy to take any questions from the ANC.
Thank you. Thank you. I was watching Commissioner Schwartz make his screen bigger and smaller with his fingers, and I
I'm
was
trying
like,
to, here, maybe
I was
I
like,
can zoom in.
how is he doing that with the Zoom? But it's doing it on his computer, and I'm watching it. Terrific. Is there, commissioners, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I don't see any issue with it at all.
Okay. I don't have any issues with this move either. I like to move that we send a letter of support for this this temporary relocation of diplomatic parking for the Embassy of Mexico.
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. All those in favor? So four commissioners voting in favor of that. Thank you, Christoph, for being here and for doing that. Are
Yeah.
you doing other ones with us tonight?
I believe we have, I believe someone's joining for the next NOI, but I will
Okay.
also be on for the last notice of intent for 11th Street,
Got it.
or L Street rather, by claim.
Got it. Terrific. So the next item on our agenda is DDOT NOA 2602 MSED. This is M Street and 15th Street Northwest, reconfiguration of the left lane of M Street and turn only lane. And the addition of 6 full-time parking spaces on the left of M Street. And do we have Kelly on with us or someone?
Hi, good evening. Kelly was
Hello.
not able to join tonight, so it's going to be me and Salam, my colleague.
Okay, terrific. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity and great to meet with you again. My name is Azadeh Norouzi. I'm the manager for Safe System Engineering Program team at DDOT. I'm here with my colleague Salama Bekel. She is Senior Transportation Engineer. And so tonight we're going to talk with you about this effort. This is a safety effort as part of Highway Safety Improvement Project, which, as you may have heard, this is a federally funded project. It's meant to be a quick-built, high-impact safety improvement project with a data-driven approach, meaning we do a site investigation, field observation. We have a look at the crash pattern and we try to address the safety issues and also ensure compliance with federal and DC guidelines. So this intersection of 15th Street and M Street is an HSIG location with which we are considering several safety improvement changes, including lane configuration, pedestrian refuge island, and making some changes to the parking restrictions. So with this introduction, I'll pass it over to my colleague, Salam, and she's gonna go over the details of the upcoming project at this intersection. Salam, over to you.
Thank you, Azadeh. Good evening, everyone. My name is Salama Bekele. I'm the transportation engineer with DDOT. Let me share my screen. And you see my screen? I'm trying to
And we can see
pull
it,
up the
yes.
Okay. So this project has 2 modifications, lane reconfiguration and parking change that is due to the lane reconfiguration. As shown on the NOI, we're taking a 90 feet of parking to use that lane as a left turn only lane, and we're proposing 6 full-time parking. And this open area is a driveway, and this open area here is shown. That is the existing pickup drop-off for Westin Hotel, where we're maintaining the same parking regulation pickup drop-off. This reconfiguration is intended to improve traffic flow and also reduce driver confusions and also unnecessary lane changes. We're also trying to, can you see when I change my screen? I'm trying to show a plan. Okay.
Yeah, you can see that.
I'm a little scared of this plan.
No, I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So we're trying to propose a lane marking for the same location, a left turn arrow marking for the left turn, and a through arrow marking for the middle lane. We already have a right turn only marking on the existing. We're not touching that. So we're trying to provide the lane markings to enhance, and the proposed left turn only lane configuration. One more thing I would like to mention is on the southern leg of 15th Street, we have one more change. Even though NOI is not required, I just want to bring it to your attention that it's coming. We're proposing a concrete island on the Gore area of 15th Street, South Lake. It looks like this. It's an refugee island. It's going to be concrete. The intent is to reduce the distance of the crosswalk for the southern leg, and also it improves visibility for the western crosswalk for a traffic coming northbound, left turning to the westbound M Street. With that, we'll take any questions if you have any.
So just to clarify, where you're putting the left, no, the right turn in, the right turn lane in, you're removing parking there and putting the right turn lane in and pulling the bike lane out and making this left turn lane on the left hand, on the left lane.
We're keeping the existing bike lane. We're not touching that. We're just taking a parking lane and we're changing that to a left turn lane.
Oh,
The
that is
bike
a
in the right turn, we're keeping it existing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So it's just the left-hand parking that you're removing.
In order to create the left-hand only,
Yes.
left
Got it.
turn only.
Got it. Okay, I gotcha.
This is a huge upgrade. It's a narrow block
Yes.
between the Westin and the Home Builders Association building. And you have people driving out of the Westin trying to turn any old direction, including trying to turn right on 15th Street from the left lane. It's crazy pants.
Yes.
So sorting everybody into literally their lane is a good idea.
Yep. Love it.
Pedestrians should be able to know what to expect and not be surprised by crazy pants behavior.
Exactly. That is for driver clarity and also to reduce the confusion. And Salam, if you can please share the near map, the street view, please. If you have it handy.
Can you see it? You don't see it? I was trying to share.
We see the NOI.
Are they not? Okay, let me reshare on my screen.
I do really, I just will say, I do really like the concrete median that you have, or little island area that you placed on
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, we noticed there was a pedestrian involved crash on that crosswalk. So we wanted to kind of, this pedestrian island serves as to lessen the exposure of pedestrians as well as kind of left turn hardening. making the turns, the drivers to make the turn at 90 degree angle.
Yeah.
You may remember there was a separate project for 15th and Mass that's just north of this
Yes.
that also had pedestrian involved crashes.
Yes. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Yeah, the cigar shape, what do you call it?
Island?
Raised median. I'd recommend that you make sure that that there's sufficient signage on it, because the one closest to my house suffered a number of crashes because cars weren't expecting it and crashed right over it.
Yes, that's happened on 9th Street too, at 9th and G. That they have run over the the medium, even though you have signage on the end of it.
Red and white stripes. How about?
Yes. Great.
Sure, that's a great idea. Sure.
Uh-oh, you lost your volume for some reason here. Here you go. There you go.
I do have one question. It's related to the parking that will be on the left side of M Street. It says full-time parking spaces. Will that be modified during rush hour, or is that just all-day parking?
Yeah, it's gonna be all day parking with this modification.
All right, thank you.
Almost all of the car traffic on that side is from the Westin Hotel, getting in or getting out of their entrance area.
Battery.
Also, I've done outreach to both the Westin Hotel and the Le Meridien, which used to be the Madison, which is on the corner there. And they didn't seem to have a problem, so.
I'd like to move that we send a letter of support for this, for NOI 2602 MSED. MSED,
Thank you so
yes.
much.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Commissioner Croft. I'm sorry, I'll get it right. It's late. All those in favor? So 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that. So we'll get that off for you.
Great.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Evening.
Next item is DDOT NOI 26-13 CPD. This is L Street Northwest between 12th and 11th Street, connecting the existing bike lanes on 11th Street Northwest between Pennsylvania and L Street. And Christoph, you said you were going to do this one?
Hi, yes, good evening. So this NOI is for DDOT's 11th Street Northwest Protected Bike Lane project that is connecting the bus priority lane project, which went from Pennsylvania Avenue to L Street, and it's connecting it from L Street all the way up to Monroe Street. So it's believe it's over 2 miles of protected bike lanes. This first section will just go to Florida, but it will continue further north. The segment that I'm presenting on today is on 11th Street between 11th and 12th. If any of you are familiar with the existing bike lane on L Street, it ends at 12th. So we are proposing in this bike lane to just finish and add on this last little bit to 11th to connect it and fill in the gap between 12th and 11th and connect it to this bike lane. In doing so, we'll be eliminating parking on the south side of L, which is just 6 parking spaces. And we'll be moving so travel can continue straight through on L unimpeded. We have been directly in contact with the property owner of this building. They do have a shuttle that they run and operate for government employees. And so we're working with them on a solution to keep that shuttle operating. If it's helpful for me to pull up a street view, I can also do that. But this is the bike lane right here, L Street between 12th and 11th. This is the current configuration, and then this is the final design.
Is it a protected bike lane on 12th Street?
On 12th or on L?
Oh, you said between 11th and 12th. Oh, on L between
L.
11th and 12th. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm sorry.
The bike lane is on L and it connects all the way east, and it is semi-protected.
Yeah.
It's protected in some locations, and then it merges with some turn lanes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I know where we're at now. Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's great to connect these bike lanes.
I think it's very good too. I just wonder about doing away with, say, parking there. No one has expressed a desire to continue the parking on that street.
The property owner is okay with it. This right here, this adjacent to the 6 parking spots would be right in front of. It's just really their government shuttle that they are. We're working on having,
Accommodating that,
operations,
okay.
yeah, and accommodate their operations.
All right, thank you.
Chris, who's in that building right now? Just out of curiosity.
I do not know off the top of my head.
Yeah. Okay. I'm familiar with the site because my kids used to go to Thompson.
Right.
The question for you is the bike lane that's there. Will there be curbs? I know there are these like low-lying concrete curbs that are sometimes laid out on the street. Is that proposed here, or is that more like the or is it just markings on the street that you're going to use to mark the bike lane?
This will have concrete curb stops between the
will?
travel lane and the bike lane, just for
It
this
will?
one block right here.
Okay. The only is it the continuous curb, or is it more like the intermittent, almost like parking curbs that you see in some parking lots?
It's like the parking curbs. It's not like 15th Street where it's one whole continuous.
Okay. The only concern that I have is I've seen these intermittent like parking curbs along K Street, and I know that for some odd reason, every couple, let's say like every 10th one will be at a really odd angle that juts right out into the bike lane. And I've stopped on several occasions to push it back to make it straight again. But maybe it's a car that careens into it, but it does put, it does contort these concrete concrete curbs, and it makes them almost perpendicular, or it makes them angular and intrudes into the biking space. So if that's something that you can look into what's causing it and what you can do about fixing that, that would be ideal, because it is quite dangerous if you're not paying attention to it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that up, and it is important for the maintenance of our bike lanes. We have a specific bike lane maintenance team at DDOT, and so there is a 311 option for bike lane flex posts, these curb wheel stops. So if they are displaced, you can submit a 311, and our team will secure them back to the road. They typically can get hit by cars, and they will get displaced. But we have a team that responds very quickly within a matter of days, and will relocate them or install a new one if need be.
Terrific. Thank you, Chris. Commissioners, is there a motion on the floor?
I move that we send a letter of support.
I'll second that. All those in favor? So 4 of 4 commissioners voting in favor of that. We'll get that off. Christopher, I don't know if you were on at the beginning of the meeting tonight, but I was asking about the little parking posts around the neighborhood that was put in for variable parking rates that were a number of years ago. They're like the little posts that are supposed to have the Park Mobile number on it. Which I do not believe are in use anymore. Because they don't have stickers on them or signage telling the parking space or how to pay or anything like that, or what you're doing. Does VDOT have a plan to remove those?
That is a good question. I can check with our curbside team. I know that, yeah, we're supposed to have the proper signage to direct people to Park DC and the appropriate code.
Yeah.
I mean, they are still metered parking spaces,
Yeah, they're still metered, but
so people should still be paying for them.
yes, understandably with the machine or from the sign or whatever, but these are just
The
they're
poles,
in
yeah.
need of repair, replacement, or get them out of there.
Do you have a location that I can?
Downtown DC.
Okay, just everywhere in downtown DC.
Everywhere downtown. Yes, I mean seriously, you walk around and they are just poles with black tops on them with no numbers. They're rusting. Some of them have fallen over. It's just, I can get you some locations, but they're apparently not in use anymore.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Most definitely. Thank you for that. Go ahead.
And Chris, I just have one thing. Have you talked with there's a large residential area there, 1010 Mass, apartments, condos, and a
This on
restaurant.
the other side?
Are they okay with this? Has this
I
been
don't-
run by any of the residential?
I cannot confirm. We have done extensive outreach on the corridor, flyering all adjacent properties. But I don't know what our communication has been with that
The other
specific
end of the block.
property.
Yeah.
It's right off 10th Street
Right, it is.
and L and Mass.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Groff, I'd like to move forward with your report on supporting.
And this will just take a minute, and then if I leave, will I leave you without a quorum? Do I have to wait till Thomas comes back?
No.
Okay. I don't have a resolution or anything yet on streeteries. I spent most of the day off and on observing the DDOT Public Space Committee hearing applications for permanent streeteries and learned a lot about the specifications and how all of it works. And more importantly, acquainted myself with the members of the Public Space Committee. So I emailed them, and we have a Zoom meeting scheduled or Teams meeting scheduled for Monday, March 16th, including someone from the Office of Disability Rights to talk about amplifying streetery use as a strategy for making restaurants ADA compliant, where they would not otherwise be. Many restaurants have one step or things that are not readily achievable to barriers to remove. But a streetery makes it, at least in good weather, accessible. So I'm continuing the larger conversation, and we'll be back.
Yes. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I would like to I would like to move that we, that as ANC 2C, when we are sending a letter of support for a streetery or a streetery endorsement, that we are including in the letter that it is ANC 2C's expectation
Yes.
that the streetery area will be accessible.
Yeah, the ADA requirements for, under the new permanent streeteries is actually pretty rigorous. It's awesome.
Oh, it is.
It's awesome. It's way more than, how many times have you heard me ask an APCA licensee, as your architect, make sure you're in compliance, and gotten a blank look.
So it is already accessible.
It's baked in very much.
I'll withdraw my.
But please know that I put together a paper of support for you with
Oh,
this.
thank you.
And something that does concern me is that some of the restaurants, perhaps when we went to a few weeks ago, for one of the organizations, basically their restaurant does not have any.
Welcome to my life,
Yeah.
Commissioner Swart.
And so I want
Many legacy buildings in this
I
city.
want us to make sure that if we have a situation where that restaurant is required by law to have these types of
But the ADA is
accommodations.
required where it is readily achievable.
Yeah. And there's some,
There's an enormous amount of wiggle
Yeah.
room in that.
but I've got some of that written here.
Okay,
And
please,
so we
please
can
forward
maybe
that to me.
modify this to say,
Yeah, please forward that to me. Thank you
Because-
very much for your
because if
work.
they want to have a streetery and they haven't done what they need to do in the restaurant.
Yeah, but in many places, it's literally not possible
I know that.
in the,
Yeah.
in the existing infrastructure.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just want to,
Those instances that I'm really
yeah.
aiming at.
Right.
But yes, thank you for your work. Please forward it to me.
Okay.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll now,
I'm leaving.
okay, please.
Good night.
Thank you.
Everybody.
We'll now move forward with planning, zoning, environment, and historic preservation. This is 503, 517 H Street Northwest. This is a historic is this a historic? An HPA 26-149. And I believe Stefan is here.
I am. Thank
Hi,
you.
how are you doing?
Good. How are you guys? How's everyone?
Good.
Late
Very
night.
good, thank you.
Thank you for sticking around for the last agenda item. You can hear me and can you see the screen? I'm just showing.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay. Let's see if I can just put it in full mode. And I wanted, come tonight to present in front of the ANC and the public, first to provide an update on the hotel and then talk about next steps. So without any other further questions to start off, I just wanted to refresh your memory. We still have the same development team here based in Washington, D.C. And we're focused on hospitality and public-private partnerships. We have 2 active hotels, one in Noma, Union Market, and then one right here in Chinatown, between 5th and 6th Street on H Street Northwest. And these are the existing properties. We actually, over the summer, we ended up cleaning up all the facades and all the interiors with our maintenance contract, and we cleaned out the back alley. So it actually doesn't look like this today. It's clean of all the signs and any trash. And the windows we put blinds in. So we're trying to be a good neighbor. And it starts at 503. These are for anyone on the call or on the commission that don't know the property, but it starts at 503 H Street and ends up at 517 H Street. And what we did during the summer is we worked with the DC City Council to
get a tax abatement on the property in July, end of July. And then in October, we actually closed on the whole assembly. So we now consolidated all the properties into one ownership LLC. So we're in full ownership of the property. Over the last year, we've been working through the financing, trying to get equity financing and debt and an operator. So where we stand today, the program and what we're proposing to historic preservation is a 154 key Marriott Tribute Lifestyle Hotel. We're committing to a neighborhood Asian market, which most likely would be in 511 to 517. So it would be in the English basement here, and it's about 1,300 square feet. And there's room potentially for a meeting space, community space for people to have, to be able to reserve it at no cost and host meetings within the Asian market. Then we have restaurant, bar, amenities as part of the hotel, and then ground floor retail, which if you see 503, 505, the white building here, historic preservation, since it's been altered through time so much that they're allowing us to demolish the building and rebuild it, which you'll see some of the renderings. But what we're doing is we're going to dedicate the ground floor retail to a business that enhances the Chinatown heritage. And so that's kind of, I'll get to that, but that's one of the important commitments we made as part of the tax abatement. So we were here 2 years ago. We went through historic preservation. Literally, it was about 2 years ago in February. Now it's March. The major changes are really we're adding one additional floor to the approved building, which increases the key count from 142 to 154 keys. We're redesigning some of the exterior architectural elements and building materials in a way to be more cost effective for the project. What we found out going through interviewing potential investors and construction banks providing construction loans is that our costs were out of the kind of out of the mean sort of. So it was kind of, we felt like we needed to rein in the costs. And I also just wanted to make a note that there's no eating. We're not asking for a change of use at the BZA. So there will be no eating, drinking establishment on the rooftop, which typically these hotels have. So what I alluded to was some of the community benefits, and this is almost verbatim from our tax abatement. We're going to operate an Asian market with input from not only these organizations, but the whole community. And then we probably 503 H Street will lease this to it can be a business nonprofit that enhances the cultural heritage of Chinatown. And then we need to make at least a $300,000 donation to the Chinatown long-term lease grant program. So that's at a minimum. We want to do more for the block as well as for Chinatown, the neighborhood, but that's our minimum commitment. Just kind of working through the timeline. We have gone out, met with the adjacent property owners in the surrounding neighborhood. And so we're lucky that we have a good relationship with most of our neighbors, and they support the project, and they're willing to put in submit support letters as part of our historic preservation application, which will go in next week. But we're here, that's ongoing. We'll continue to do that. We're presenting tonight, and then we'll have the historic public meeting on March 26th. And what we plan to do is announce who will be kind of the restaurateur for the hotel. And it will be, most likely it'll be someone local, someone who would operate, he or she would operate the entire their team would operate all the food and beverage, including the Asian market for the hotel. So the BZA meeting, as you guys know, probably they're not taking meetings now, and it's gonna pick up again in April. So we're not sure if we will make that date a third quarter 2026, but we are moving forward with the permitting. We're spending money getting the permits. The biggest challenge is the financing, and then we'd like to close in a year and then start construction, which is 24 months. You top out after a year, and then we do a grand opening and a community grand opening 2 years from when we start construction. So second quarter 2029 is our estimate. And I think, let me go to the drawings. Let me stop the share. Those were the slides, but I'll go quickly to the drawings and just give you a sense of here. So I will share. Let me share this. I apologize. So you can see what we did is we've actually added one. If you can see my tracer, I'm not sure if you can see that, but we've been working with historic preservation, and they wanted to see more. If we're going to add one level, they wanted to see more of a wedding cake effect, where we're kind of stepping back the building after the 8th floor, which is, you see that glass railing there. So that's the effect we're trying to go for, is that we're setting back the building from that kind of 8-story, and hopefully it kind of disappears into the background as you're on H Street. And so I'm just showing you some views that we literally got these at 6 o'clock tonight. So some of it, we have a couple different options in color palette, and we're actually open to suggestions because we kind of like all of them. But I just put this in a deck in the presentation at 7 o'clock tonight. So this is the back of the building, which I think we actually made improvements to the back of the building and what it looks like. And that's the alley. And then here are some renderings, which they look very similar to what historic preservation approved. Especially, we're keeping to the agreement with historic preservation to return these to the original brick. This will be the hotel lobby area, and we'll be painting this brick most likely. This, we're going to restore the brick and maybe paint it. And then this is a brand new, as I referred to, a brand new structure that we're trying to make it look historic and blend into the entire project. And then on your right here, What's a Burger, which met Muhammad a couple of times. He's in support of the project. And then the property owners here, which we've been always talking to, as well as the Chinatown East condos, which I know they're on the call tonight, and we're engaged in dialogue. We already made one presentation to them, and we'll make multiple presentations and have follow-up meetings. So here are a couple of views, and we're still working through these, but it gives you a sense of the urban context and how it fits in with both the historic buildings as well as the surrounding wall luck. And you can see apartment building in the back, and in the other picture you can see here you can see this apartment and another hotel on our block. So that's the latest update. we think that we're making the project better, as well as we're trying to, be cost effective. We did hire Clark Construction, who is the general contractor for the Capital One Arena. As you know, they're actually doing all the pre-construction services for us. And that was after we interviewed 5 firms that went through a pre-construction pricing process. So that was part of what we did this summer. So we've been in a pretty intensive kind of pre-development analysis trying to make this project work. And even more so now that we actually own the property, and we are paying for it on a monthly basis. So we'd love to get this project underway.
Absolutely. Can you tell me the height of the building? Is it you added a floor? How many floors are you? Is the building, is it comparable to the Wall Luck House and the building across the street? I can't tell.
Yeah, good question, of course. And you can see the ghosting. This might be the best. We tried to ghost the building in here. You can see the back. If you're looking from like Mass Ave, you can see. So we added another 10 feet. So we were at before we were at 86.25 plus the mechanical penthouse, and now we're at 95.92 plus the mechanical penthouse. So we added 10 feet to the project.
Got it.
And the roof's 105.5. So we're within the existing zoning requirements. And so we've checked that a couple different times to meet all the existing zoning, and it's now going through really historic preservation. And then we're for BZA, we might need one relief item, which is the rear setback, but we're not sure yet. We're still kind of working on the plans to see that would be the only relief item we would need, since we're not asking for a rooftop bar restaurant, which would be a change of use, and our garage now complies with the zoning standard.
Got it.
So,
and just a question. I know that there was, well, this would come up in a BZA, I guess, meeting, but I know there was concern about the ability to back a truck in, pull a truck in sideways, or there was a couple different models that you were exploring at one point. Is there enough room there to allow a vehicle to go back into the building, or how does that?
It is, and and it's a good question, and it was exact question Chinatown East condo board asked, like, how are you going to do the loading, unloading, trash? So we have Grove Slade on our team, and we're working on actually exhibit to show that it's really for everyone in the community. But since the building, it's a 10-foot alley, and then we're setting back the building set back 8 feet. And then what we're doing is the trucks will be able to pull in, and we've done the studies with Grove Slade to show that they would be able to pull in out both the trash waste management as well as the food and beverage loading. And I think that's something we can also share and put in the public record.
Got it. Well, I just want to say that from where you started, I don't know how long ago now. You said just a year. It seems like it's been longer than that.
We've been working on it for 4 years, but in the last year, we've made a lot of progress.
A lot of progress, yes. And yes, I know that it's been a significant amount of progress. And I have to tell you that this is the firmest idea that has been, or concept that has been presented. So I appreciate that. Do we have any questions?
Anybody from the audience?
And we are at 9 o'clock.
Oh, I wanted to make a comment, but
Good evening, commissioners and those who are in the room and online. My name is June Gao. I am the president of the HOA Association within Chinatown East condominiums. And so I would like to first start off saying thank you for Stefan for having conversations with us and all. So on behalf of my building's residents, that includes the tenants and owners, we would like to share that, that's proposed height of this building, we are already very concerned on how it overcasts on our building. The approved plans that they already had back in 2024 from their shading studies have shown that the rooftop during the timeframes of winter solstice and in spring equinox, there is very significant shadowing on top of our building rooftop where we've installed solar power panels back in 2023, which was a huge effort for our building to an investment as well. Along with that, we have on about a third of our units will be significantly losing sunlight and being shadowed by this building overall. And so we do request working with Stefan to really see if there could be another analysis on what the shadowing of this building would do. But overall, we would like to request, if at all possible, a reduction of this building plan or any mitigations that could help support the loss of light that is at our building. And I would like to add a personal note as someone who lives in this building and is someone who works in this area. I personally would love to see Chinatown revitalized. I'm working very closely with Hudson Tang and his group as well. And so hope to see that the fabric of this community, of the current residents, as well as the cultural history of this area gets to be implemented in future plans. And I would like to quickly ask for Mike Anderson, who is also a board member, to chime in with his comments.
Thank you, June. Want to say thanks to the ANC, understand the hours, and appreciate you guys, everyone giving us time to talk about this. Appreciate to Stefan, who's already met with us once, as he talked about, and appreciate that collaborative process. But I'll just a little bit of context to the concern about the height, which I think is our overriding thing. If you kind of look at it from a narrative perspective over time, our building responded to DC policy and DC objectives, which wants buildings like ours to install rooftop solar because of larger citywide, city level objectives. And so because of, expense and members of our association willingly taking on an expense, we did that. Now, obviously, there were some degree of tax abatement, not huge, but, we participated in something that was a DC objective, responding to DC policy. And less than so many years later, that's at significant risk, is troubling from like kind of the consistency of DC's, the city government's narrative vis-a-vis our building. And then you want to go even further back, our building originally proposed to be a 10-story building itself, could not get the support of the ANC or HRB or BZA, and it got us down to the 6 stories that we are currently, which kind of frankly puts us at more risk from another building that was able to, somehow able to get the height that the original plan for ours was denied. So we're a small residential building compared to others, only 30 units, only 30 owners. But like our president just spoke about, we have, there are 3 units on each floor out of 5 where the windows in that those units only face the alley. And then for at least the first 2 floors, and depending on how we do the analysis, potentially the third, those units are gonna lose, 90% of their sunlight coverage, which I haven't done any we haven't done any formal analysis yet, but we've consulted with some realtors, and that's a significant,
We're gonna,
right, not only quality of life loss, but a property value loss. So something I want to make sure that we're tracking before any decisions move forward on the policy.
yes. Stefan,
Yep.
can you did a shadow study on the building. This is you're not asking for BZA changes in this. So this is a right to build.
Yes, today it is how we designed it. So we're not asking for BZA necessarily. We're still trying to figure out the BZA, if we need BZA relief on the rear yard. So we're in for historic preservation at this point. And just to address the rooftop solar panels, we do need to agree with the condo association on a consultant to evaluate the electricity loss due to shading. And that is, I think it's a DC law that we need to do that. And we will be doing that with them. So we can, and it will calculate a dollar amount that they would need to be compensated, I believe. So we're actually actively talking about that aspect, which is, I think, more cut and dry. That's pretty cut and dry, and that's based on Holland and Knight giving us guidance, and we spoke to them about that. The impact on the windows, we just got the elevations today, this afternoon, and we're gonna put it in the model, and we're gonna see what it looks like. So, we just got it, but we can update the shadow study because we haven't updated that yet, because the massing was kind of moving around for a while.
And you're for us for historic preservation.
Yes.
Tonight. So with that concept, this would meet the requirements for me for historic preservation. You may still have different designs that you need to modify as you move forward for BZA purposes, including the shadowing and the solar panel issue, et cetera. So for historic preservation, I would like to move that we send a letter of support for this project.
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lee, and those in favor. So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. I would like to also add to the letter, if I may, that we express concern over the comments of the Chinatown East condominiums over shadowing and solar panel issues.
You should have that caveat.
Yes, and you all agree with that? Okay.
I second that.
Awesome. We will do that, and we hear you. The Chinatown East condominiums, we hear you, and we will address this in our further BZA meetings as well on this. Thank you. I'd like to move that we adjourn our meeting.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Good night. Sorry, we're gonna get kicked out. Any moment.
Oh, yeah.
They're circling.